guys, and I hope that we're all sober and well. Welcome back to my channel. I got a question from a subscriber, and you asked, how do you love an alcoholic unconditionally? So how do you love an addict or an alcoholic unconditionally? That's actually a really good question. It's a loaded question. It's a difficult question, but I'm going to try my best to answer. As you guys know, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I also have bipolar type 2 disorder. These conditions have made me really difficult to live with, I would say. Really hard to live with, unlovable at times. Dealing with an alcoholic and dealing with an addict is not easy, especially when they are still in active addiction. So when they're still drinking, when they're still using, when they haven't found recovery, you are dealing with a live wire, basically, a live wire that's just like this. They start forming patterns that are sort of predictable. Their behavior sort of becomes predictable in the sense that they are going to be a disappointment. They are going to become difficult to live with. If you are living with an untreated alcoholic or an alcoholic, why I say untreated alcoholic is because just because someone is sober does not mean that they are actually working a program of recovery. You can have a person who is sober but is a dry drunk. So a dry drunk is a person who is literally holding on to sobriety like this. They're white knuckling it. And this person is very unhappy. They're sober, but they're very unhappy, and they're making everybody's life miserable. As miserable as they feel is what they're doing to other people's lives. And they're sober. Somehow they're sober. But they're doing it out of their own willpower. And as you know, as an alcoholic, we have no willpower against staying sober or against drinking. We drink against our will, and we stay sober through the grace of God, right? So when we are untreated, and especially when we are using, we are the ugliest people that you will meet. Living with us is completely insane, right? We are emotionally abusive. We are extremely manipulative. We can be physically abusive. We can be sexually abusive. I mean, there are all sorts of things. Personally, I haven't done that, sexually abused someone. But I know of alcoholics who have done such things in an alcoholic state, meaning they're drunk or in that phase. So living with an alcoholic comes with a lot of chaos, and many people don't want to talk about this because it's like you're outing the person that you love. You're outing, or you're airing out their dirty laundry. But the thing is that we as alcoholics, we take in hostages, all right? The people that we love, we take you as a hostage, right? You feel that you're obliged to stand by us, and we use that love that you have for us and we weaponize it against you. So we'll use it as emotional blackmail, right? So this is just I'm scratching the surface of how our minds work as alcoholics and as addicts. I'm just scratching the surface. We don't mean to do these things, but at the same time, you have to understand that you're not dealing with the person that you are in love with. You're not dealing with the person that you love as a family member. You're dealing with the devil itself. You're dealing with the demon, or whatever that you want to believe alcoholism is. You're dealing with the disease of addiction and alcoholism. That's what you're dealing with. So remove your loved one out of the picture. Yes, they may look like your loved one physically, but that person has long checked out, okay? What is taking force and what is happening in their body and in their mindset is all controlled by the use of alcohol and drugs. That is all that is motivating them. That is all that is focusing them. That is all that we are thinking about. We're literally only thinking about one thing in the morning when we wake up. How am I going to get drunk? Who am I going to use to get money today to get drunk? Where am I going to get my liquor? And how am I going to continue to drink today? Those are the only things we are thinking about. We're not thinking about, oh my gosh, this hurts my mom, this hurts my dad, this hurts my brother, this hurts my sister. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad I didn't go to my cousin's wedding, or I didn't show up, or I said I'd show up and I didn't show up. We're not thinking about those things. We're literally thinking about, how am I going to get the money, or how am I going to use this person, or how am I going to finesse this person out of the money so that I can get the drug or alcohol that I need, so that I can get out of the pain and the torment that I feel because I'm having cravings, right? And it's only during the drinking or the using. So when we are in the middle of a drink, when we are in the middle of our high, is when we start thinking, oh my gosh, I feel so bad that I used my mom, or I feel so bad that I keep using my parents, or I feel so bad that I keep not showing up for my sister, or I feel so bad that this and this and that. But we use those feelings of feeling so bad to continue using, right? So it fuels, we end up feeling so sorry for ourselves and so guilty and so shameful about our actions that we just keep on fueling our behavior to use. So that feeling shame and guilt and, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm manipulating my cousin to send me money so that I can drink, we use that fuel as motivation to drink more, not to stop, never to stop, but just to drink more and more and more. And so back to my question, you have to understand, one, and this video is specifically to caregivers and to the parents and to the sisters, to the mothers, to the brothers, to the daughters, to the, if you are related, or if you are in love with, or if you are in close proximity with an alcoholic, or if you love someone who's an addict and you see them wasting away, this video is for you. Get out of your denial. The person that you love is no longer there, right? They are no longer there. Deep down somewhere, yes, they're buried in there. But that person will only come out when that person is sober, like in long-term sobriety. Not in these brief moments of sobriety when the person is looking for a drink, or when the person is coming to you and saying, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'll never do that again, or oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I can't believe I said that when I was drunk or in a blackout. Never take an alcoholic seriously, or never take an addict seriously when they're apologizing in the middle of like a binge. Never ever ever take them seriously, because they'll continue apologizing. Like, they'll come to you, they'll apologize. After they apologize, they'll ask you for money, and then they'll go back out there, they'll drink again, they'll use again, they'll mess up again, and then they'll come back to you, they'll apologize for the same behavior, and then they'll ask you for money, or they'll ask you for a place to stay, and they'll tell you, I swear on the Bible, I swear on my life, I swear on my children, I'll never do this again. And in those moments, we actually do mean it, that we'll never do it again. But then inevitably we drink again. So we always have these empty apologies. And it's because we cannot control our drinking and our using. So please don't fall for the apologies. When we get to a 12-step program and when we're sober for a long time, that's when we do apologize and we do make amends. We do this thing that's called living amends. Now, part of the living amends is to be sober long term. Yes, I'm sober today because of the grace of God, but I'm also sober today because it makes me a more responsible person. It also adds legitimacy to the amends that I made to my parents and to all the people that I hurt when I was drinking. Like, I seriously mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm so sorry for all the things that I did to you when I was drinking. And I don't want to continue that behavior. And just for today, I will do what it takes to stay sober. I can't guarantee you that I will stay sober today. That's not my decision to make. All I can do is grant my will and my life over to the care of God. And in turn, God grants me sobriety when I work with other alcoholics. A meaningful apology comes through action. An action-based life is an alcoholic who is in recovery, who is taking responsibility for their actions, who is not sitting back and saying, okay, fine, I'm an alcoholic. This is what an alcoholic does. An alcoholic drinks. Yeah, that's not taking accountability for my action. That is living in denial. If you're an alcoholic, there is a solution and there is a way to get help. And that's through the 12-step program. You can Google that. Get onto the internet, type in, I'm an alcoholic, I can't stop drinking, but I want to stop drinking. And you will find a 12-step meeting. Get into that meeting and start doing the work to get sober. So there's literally no more excuses. So if you're the caregiver, stop listening to excuses. Stop living in denial. Stop living in denial that my person, the person that I'm in love with, the person that I love so much, is suddenly going to wake up one day and see all of the horrific things that they've done and is suddenly just going to make a decision to stop drinking. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. What I would suggest is how to unconditionally love an addict or an alcoholic is to take care of yourself, is to not enable them. Enabling an alcoholic is giving them money knowing very well that this person is not going to use this money for fare to go to the office and back. First of all, you shouldn't be giving an adult money to go to the office and back, unless it's like for a month or two, if they're getting off their feet. Why are you responsible for the life of another adult person? Why? You know that this person is just going to use that money to drink. So it's literally the same thing as you buying them a quarter of gin. It's the same thing as you putting a needle to their hand and injecting them with heroin or whatever they're doing. It's the same thing. Don't give them money. I know that they tell you things like, if you don't give me money, then I'm gonna go out onto the streets and start making money that way. Well, okay. You tell them, okay, if that's what you have to do to get money to fuel your addiction, that's okay. Because you have to come up with boundaries. So you can't live your life under threats from an alcoholic or threats from an addict. We know exactly how to finesse you guys. We know how to manipulate you guys. We know that you care for us. We know that you guys love us so much. And we use that to our advantage. We don't know exactly how we're doing it. Like, we don't sit down and say, today I'm going to manipulate my dad, or today I'm going to manipulate my mom, or today I'm going to manipulate my aunt. We don't do that. But we sit down and we go, okay, last week I asked too much money from this person. So this week I'm going to ask this much money from this person. And if you say no, we turn on the tears. We come up with long, compelling stories as to why we need money. And if you still don't give us money, then we start threatening. And we start saying, well, if you don't give me money, then I'm going to go to jail. Or if you don't give me money, I'm going to die. Or if you don't give me money, then I'm going to start selling myself on the streets because, there's no other way for me to get a drink and I'm really sick, But the thing that we fail to understand is that, first of all, we are adults. Second of all, our addiction is our problem. Nobody should fuel or fund our addiction. And thirdly, we should not threaten and manipulate the people in our lives to fuel our addiction. Now, if I was honest with my family members and said, if you give me that money, I'm going to drink it, do you think people in my family would send me that money? No, because I'm poisoning myself. You're literally buying me Jack Daniels, or you're literally buying me, a bottle of vodka and giving it to me. Now, if you want me to get sober, if you want me to stay sober, why would you enable me through giving me money? Do you think that money is going to food? We don't eat. We can't eat. Food is the last thing on our minds. Don't send us money. Please create strong boundaries. Always have your guard up, in the sense that if you as a family have a certain way of doing things, don't divert or stop doing that because the alcoholic is disrupting your life. Don't give special treatment to the addict in your life. Like, let's say you have a household, and in your household, you guys don't tolerate people smoking cigarettes on your compound. Now, because the alcoholic is always coming in and out, they come and they smoke cigarettes. And the only time they'll stay at home is if you allow them to smoke cigarettes on your compound. Tell them, no, this is not allowed here. Nobody on this compound smokes. So why do you think you should be allowed to smoke here? Nobody smokes here. So if you want to smoke here, if you want to live here, stop smoking on the compound. Go outside, do whatever you want to do, but we don't smoke in this compound. The thing with us is, if you give us an inch, we take a mile. So really stick to your core values. Really stick to your boundaries. Really stick to your ways of life. And don't go away from them. If you give us an inch, as I've said, we'll take the whole mile. If you keep giving us the benefit of the doubt, you will get tired very quickly. Get yourself out of denial. Stop thinking that you're dealing with the same innocent person. You're not. You're dealing with an alcoholic and an addict. We're extremely manipulative, especially when we are drinking and using. You're not dealing with the same sweet baby girl you held 15 years ago. You're not. I'm sorry, you're not. That person will come back maybe in sobriety, but that person is not there for now. Keep up your boundaries. Keep up your boundaries. Do not sway your boundaries because of an alcoholic or an addict. Do not do that. You will regret it. Do not enable us. Don't give us money. Don't give us money, especially when we're in active addiction. Don't give us money. Don't do it. Don't feel guilty about not giving us money. Don't even feel guilty when we threaten you, because the threats will start. Oh, if you don't give me money, then I'm gonna sell my body on the streets. If you don't give me money, I'm gonna get kicked out. You wanna see me kicked out on the streets? If you don't give me money, my lights are gonna get turned off. If you don't give me money, there's only so much one person can take. And you have to realize you are not responsible for this person's life. You're not. Only God can give us sobriety. So if you can't even get this person sober, how are you supposed to be responsible for this person's life? You can't do it. So the best way to unconditionally love an alcoholic and an addict is to not enable them. Do not be in denial about this disease. Keep your boundaries. Also, keep like running your life. Don't stop your life. I know it's very painful, especially when you're close to them, when they are a family member. Like if they are the daughter, or if this is your daughter, if this is your son, if this is your cousin, if this is the nephew, or if this is your niece, or if this is your sister, you are going to feel it. But unfortunately, there's really nothing you can do until the addict or the alcoholic themselves has reached a rock bottom and has decided that they want to get sober. There is nothing anybody can do but wait. I hope that this helps you. I know it hurts to love an alcoholic and an addict, but just keep living your life. Don't go out of your way. And I know it's really difficult, especially like if this alcoholic is your husband. I know that can be so difficult. If this is the person you're supposed to be doing life with, and this is your husband, and half the time they're not even sane, I can only imagine how difficult that is. I'll link some videos below about how you can come to terms with it. But definitely live your own life. Always be aware that you are not responsible for the outcome and the life of another person. love them the way that you remember them, but just realize that this is not the person that you once knew. That person is not there for now. I hope this video helped you. Please let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, bye. Oh guys, please subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel, and please also hit the bell and the notification bell so that every time that I post up a video, you will be notified. Until next time,